We're here at Level Up KL to interview Weyrdworks, known for their quirky debut, Super Steam Puff. In this video, we get to know a bit more about the people behind the studio. Let's check it out!
Hi, I'm JTN. I'm the artist in Weyrdworks.
Hi, I'm Daniel Ray. I'm the writer and designer.
Hi, I'm Sean Beck. I am the programmer and designer as well. Well, we grew up playing video games. I think the thing about us is we don't gravitate towards just a certain genre of games. All three of us, we play a good variety of video games, and we just love the medium. And we grew up since games were just pixel art and barely even touched 3D at the time. So we grew up with the medium. As the medium evolved, it's kind of like growing up with a friend. So we're really invested in the medium to say video games has been part of our lives for so long, and we just want to grow with it. And naturally, the best way to grow with it is to contribute to that growth. And I think that's what naturally led us to being game developers.
Yeah, I used to play, I remember my PS1, Harvest Moon, and actually a lot of horror games as well. That's what got me into gaming as well, like Parasite Eve. There's a one called Kuan as well. But anyways, I was lucky enough to do art because not many parents support usually. I got into illustrations and illustration for gaming as well. Yeah.
I guess I'm the weird one. I didn't grow up with games specifically. But I did grow up reading a lot, and I read a lot of Goosebumps, a lot of the Choose Your Own Adventure books. It sort of just segued into games after a while, and I kind of from there just grew up with it in my teenage years. Well, I didn't have a console until I was 15, so I'd say the PC was my first console. But on it, I played Dungeon Keeper, the first Dungeon Keeper, so that was my first game. That was really cool. So
I'm not exactly sure when I had my first console, but I had two elder brothers, so they had the Atari 2600, and I'm pretty sure my first game was Pac-Man on the 2600, and then we moved on to the NES, and then we got the Sega Mega Drive, and then we got a PC, and I begged my parents for a Sony PlayStation. We got a PS2 after that, and the story continued. It was pretty classic gaming era when I started.
I started out a bit late. It was still the PS1. I think the first one I played was also Legend of Mana. I wasn't too sure. I remember playing that one. Yeah. That was just the Game Boy and stuff. And then Pokemon. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Alright, so what's your favorite video game and video game memory?
Legend of Mana again. No, it was so beautiful. So many worlds. You open up things that trigger. It's actually really, really complex. Such a complex game. The story was amazing. The characters would reappear again. So it was so immersive. Yeah, that was one of my favorite.
Favorite video game, Fable: The Lost Chapters. So on the original Xbox, that was amazing the first time I ever got it, because it was my first big 3D RPG experience.
My favorite game, I'd say, would be Shadow of the Colossus, but my most memorable moment would always have to be Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, which came out right before SPM Physics. So we had a break during SPM. I think it was a 1-week break between exams. So we did some papers, biology, chemistry, and then we had a week before physics. So instead of studying physics, I just played MGS3 until the end. But I still got an A, so yay.
Okay. I'd have to say for me, Yoko Taro of the Dragon Guard series. He really stands out in terms of writing in games and narration in games. Just the way he makes everything so meta, and every single thing, every mechanic, every storyline he's ever touched seems to have double meanings, triple meanings, and whatnot. So it's something that keeps me going, just trying to make the next that kind of game. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go off a bit because since I'm an artist, I do love my cartoons a lot. So mine will be Gandhi Tartakovsky. He's the one who did like Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack. That's what Titan cartoon that I recently just watched by him as well. It's actually old as well. It's like Titan I don't remember it, but that one's really good as well. Yeah. So because I used to grow up watching a lot of Cartoon Network, really, basically. So that's why making characters for them is really fun.
So Hideo Kojima and Fumito Ueda. Fumito, because he brought the cinematic and world building without even uttering a single word in this game, in Shadow of the Colossus. So it was a kind of a shift in paradigm in how to tell a story rather than having a full fledged arc of its plot and characters talking to each other. It can just deliver such a strong emotion through an experience like Shadow of the Colossus, which just amazed me. And on the other side, there is the king of exposition, Hideo Kojima, which just puts it all out on the table. But then he does it in such a detailed way, and everything is so well thought out. Even the controversial Metal Gear Solid 2, where you played as Raiden instead of Snake, I thought it was a really bold move. And in retrospect, when we look at it, it was a way of deifying or making Snake a legend. Just always trying something new, and it's something that I admire about Hideo Kojima.
How did you guys meet and collaborate?
Oh, okay. Right. So JT and I were classmates at the One Academy, and we majored in digital animation. After graduating, we both went separate ways and did non-game development jobs for a while.
Yeah.
And we came back, and then we started, I started making a game called Velocibox, and then I got JT to help out visualize, because I loved his art direction. He did just finished his degree in graphic design from
Oh no, I don't have to say it. From Central St. Martin's, so that's where I studied before. And then I also followed Tuchon to a lot of game jams as well. And we started making even smaller games. Actually, Super Steam Puff was one of set games that we made together. So we decided to build upon that, and then turn it into an actual game. We polished it. That was way back when as well, right? Like Steam Puff 2014. 2012, yes. Oh, yeah, way back. Yeah.
Very recently, I graduated from KDU for a game development course. Sean was a lecturer over there, so that's how we met. Before we met, I was one of his biggest fans of Velocibox. Managed to completely 100% the game.
got all the achievements.
I got all the achievements. Yeah.
More than me. But I did get it during the test.
And then I heard that he was going to become a lecturer at our course, and I freaked out on the spot. So I sent him a message like that day itself, like, "Hey, Sean, just introduce myself." And then I guess from there, he became my mentor after a while from one of my projects, and then we kept in touch after I graduated. So yeah.
Oh yes.
Would you like to make a game in that style?
Oh, we could explore that option, but it'll be probably like a PC game instead. I don't know. I would think it would be a different one, but so far I think we'll focus on mobile at the moment. But maybe in the future we might explore. Yeah, I could use that as well. Yeah. Oh, thanks for checking out.
Do you have any other inspirations when it comes to your art?
Basically, I love the theme of escapism, so it's usually fantasy-based or just like little bits and pieces. That's why it's like, I love the ocean, so I have a nautical one with the seagull and the anchor, and then just little things. And then I usually, in my artworks, I put a lot of telescopes and like time turners and compasses as well, because it's all about life, finding your way and like stuff like that, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how has that been?
It's been okay so far. I mean, it's technically not a lot of work. We just try to do a hangout once a month, and thankfully we have a lot of people who are willing to sponsor venues. So I don't really have to go around meeting a lot of people to beg for a spot or get funding for a spot. Our venues have been sponsored by fellow developers like Gameka and Zap Math. and even Level Up Inc. here. So it's not much of a problem. And recently we've got a lot of volunteers to help out. So IGDA is more of it's not really a registered organization or whatever, but it's on a volunteer basis. It's the community for the community. So it's been really great, and the community has been growing steadily. The last hangout that we did, we had 100 people in just one studio showing off their games. So it's great. It's a game dev hangout. So we chose the word hangout specifically because we don't want it to be so formal or official. So it's meant to be just like a get together for everyone. So there's no really any formal agenda or talks. We do have talks, but it's sort of an open mic format. Anyone who wants to talk, we have the space for them. Anyone who wants to come in, just come in if we can fit them. And for the developers, they just come in and with their laptops opened up, pick a table, and just show off your games, play your games. So when we started, it was in 2015, I believe, 2016. 2016, when we started that, I guess the same time as Weyrdworks, started this initiative. So our first game dev hangout was in a Starbucks. So it's just random cafes, and we did that for the first several months. And one of the cafes we went into, it grew so big that we got kicked out. Yeah, we got kicked out of the cafe because we never booked these things, because it's not like it's not technically not an organized event. That's why we call it a hangout. It's just a bunch of friends coming together, but it's like 80 plus friends coming to play video games. So yeah, I'm sorry.